Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about top 10 most powerful Iranian male voice. So before starting this video, like this video, and subscribe to this channel for further updates. In this video, we shall be taking a look at the top most powerful Iranian male voice. Iran's classical art music continues to function as a spiritual tool, as it has throughout history, and much less of a recreational activity. It belongs for the most part to the social elite, as opposed to the folkloric and popular music, in which the society as a whole participates. However, components of Iran's classical music have also been incorporated into folk and pop music compositions. Number 10. Mohsen Namju. Mohsen Namju, originally coming from Turbat, a small city in Khorasan province located in northeast of Iran famous for its folk music, blends Iranian classical and folk singing, and music with Western music such as blues and rock alongside modern poetry, or a modern approach toward classical poetry, with satirical and ironic elements and a theatrical expression in performance. A Man Navaran, which was published as a single in the beginning of February, was inspired by a melody from Aref Kazvani, Iranian lyricist, singer, and composer from early 20th century. Today we would call him a singer-songwriter. Words of this song are in fact some famous nursery rhymes which, at the beginning, seem totally in contrast with Aref political romantic lyrics. But with a deeper look and the help of the video, it becomes clear it's about the lost childhood of several generations of Iranians in the shadow of challenging political conditions during last decades. Namju, himself an immigrant to the US for a decade, portrays lots of middle-aged adults that not long ago were kids who spent their early years in the war and the post-war era. And now they are all over the world, separated from each other and from their own childhood. Probably what can revitalize those forgotten childhoods is a melody by a passionate poet from almost a century ago. Number 9. Shahan Najafi. York featured with Persian singing. He fuses the ancient with the current. His unique style of singing and effortless Najafi was head of an underground music band in Iran, before his immigration to Germany, but he was banned for his offenses towards the Islamic faith in Iran by the Iranian government, after his second music show. He was also the head of the Iran music band in Germany. Then he joined the Tapesh 2012 music band. Tapesh 2012 were welcomed by Persian broadcasters, and the international media by political and social songs and poems of Najafi. An article published in number 19194 of the conservative newspaper Kayan on the 29th of September 2008 criticized Tapesh 2012's activities. Kayan published the article titled Establishing Democracy with Drum and Circle. A part of it goes as follows. Recently, opponents of the Islamic Republic of Iran continue their goals in universities, and in the form of music groups to make known the autocracies of the Iranian government. Recently some blogs of opposition students have published a statement about Tapesh 2012, which gives news establishing 1 million signatures by Tapesh 2012. This group is composed of some Iranian and German that are not affiliated with any party or group. The purpose of this group is attempting to collect signatures, and present it on the anniversary of human rights, the 10th of December, to Parliament of Europe in Brussels. On the 1st of May 2008, Najafi released his first studio album, Namad Nistam, We Are Not Men, with partnership and composition of the Tapesh 2012 music band. This album was his official and professional beginning in Persian hip-hop music. The album attracted the audience and listener more than any album, before it was released in Persian hip-hop style. Number 8. Farzad Farzan. Farzad was one of the founders and original band member of the Karuz group in 2001. He left the band before they could release their first album. Farzad's spot in Karuz was taken by Shervan Sohrabian. Farzad had left Karuz group for personal reasons, but obviously did keep the rights to all songs he had created for group. After many revisions in terms of content, title and record label, he finally was able to release his first, legal, album Sharari in 2005 on the Navaye Rameeshe label. His second, legal, album Shock took quite a while to see the light of day. Originally it was planned for release in 2006, but was postponed. This was mainly due to the fact that his new albums were leaked on the internet prematurely. As a result, he had a hard time publishing and performing his work inside Iran legally. In the meantime he was able to give a couple of European concerts together, with Mohsen Yajna in the Netherlands and Germany in May 2007. The second album Shock was finally released in 2008. To avoid the same problems from happening again, Farzad tried to come to some sort of understanding with blogs and pirate websites not to freely distribute songs from his next album directly after its release in stores. Number 7. Mohsen Chavoshi. Chavoshi was born in Iran. His family is ethnically Kurdish from Kurdistan province. His family migrated to Mashhad. He finished his education in Mashhad. He began his music career after he finished school and military service. His 2008 album Ye Shake Nilufar, A Lotus Sprout, received permission to be released legally. The CD later became the biggest legally sold CD within Iran, by selling over 1 million legal non-bootleg copies. In album, alongside his new producer, he experimented with a new style, that was more towards the rock music genre while including traditional Persian instruments. In 2010, he made his new album, Jacket, which had many more uptone, passionate melodies and lyrics. The album started with an upbeat melody in the style of Bandari, with southern Iranian dialect which caused a small shock to his listeners. He produced the majority of the songs on the album, while the professional producer Shahab Akbari produced 2 and Ahari produced 3. He released Greedy, his 7th album, in 2011. In 2012, White Flag was released by TDH Company as the 4th album of his career under the law. Also in 2012, again Del Seda, the 4th Mohsen his group album, was released by Basharat Company which contained 1 track of Mohsen, and it became a hit track. He released I Myself Am the 13 in 2013. He released Boatless Ore in October 2014 and broke album sales records in Iran at 1393. Mohsen Chavoshi is called Special Music Man in Iran. Number 6. Shahram Solati. Shortly before the revolution in 1979, Shahram left Iran to perform in a series of concerts in the United States, and, due to restrictions imposed on entertainers by the new leadership, he was not able to return. So for the time being, he decided to settle down in New York City, where he married soon after. Since the revolution came unexpectedly, he, and other exiled Iranian singers, initially faced some difficulties to re-establish the community. However, after the birth of her daughter, he became more involved in her professional career. Leaving behind New York City, Shahram moved to Los Angeles in 1982, settling with the exiled Iranian music industry of the 1970s, who also established in that city. Working with songwriters, composers and arrangers such as Mohammad Mokaddam, Jacqueline, and Shubert Avakian, he produced and released several new albums. Most of these albums were nostalgic of the golden years of Iranian life just a few years before, and thus appealed to a much wider audience, giving Shahram fame momentum. The yearning for Iran. In his music established a strong solidarity amongst the struggling Iranians who found comfort in his songs. His notable albums during this period include Jan Salam, Sadayer Par and Shenadam. Throughout the late 1980s and 1990s, Solati managed to increase his appeal by the release of newer albums, each earning commendation. In the 1980s he had many concerts with Siavish Shams and Andy Madadian. However, it was not until the release of the album Zan, 1994, that he unequivocally garnered positive reviews from critics. The themes of his songs in that album not only highlighted greater recognition of men's rights, but they also underlined the importance of men's duties. Number 5. Aref Arefkia. Aref Arefkia, known as Aref, born August 10, 1940, is an Iranian pop music singer and former actor. He is known as the King of Hearts and the Legend of Pop in Iran. He graduated from Tehran Industrial School of Art in 1958. Before starting his career as a singer, he worked as a teacher in Kazvan Industrial School of Art for 2 years, but the truth is that he has been singing since he was 12 years old. In the 1960s, he introduced a new wave of romantic styles to the large spectrum of romantic Persian music. After the Islamic Revolution, he left Iran and went to London and Los Angeles. He has 1 son and 4 daughters. His first hit was Darya Cheye Nur, which is still popular among all the Iranians. Aref and his family left Iran in 1979, following the Islamic Revolution. He first lived in London, England, for 3 years, then moved to Los Angeles, United States. Number 4. Alizand Vakili. Vakili gave his voice to sing the soundtrack of several projects made by Iran Arab, which has earned him nomination for the Best Song at the Hafez Awards. Noble Born is a brave report on what has happened during the 2 past years in Iran's policy and economy. The film shoot began 6 months ago, and is soon to hit domestic market of home entertainment in Iran. Sina Merad, Armin Hayai, Nikki Karimi and Kambiz Diabars join Mehdi Sultani, Amir Akai, Soraya Kasemi, Leia Zanganeh, and Jamshid Hashimpur in making up the series cast. Number 3. Ibrahim Hamidi. Ibrahim Hamidi, born 1949, better known by his stage name Ebi, is a Persian pop singer who first started in boy bands in the streets of Tehran, and later graduated to a solo career in glamorous Westwood, Los Angeles, or Little Persia. Although beloved for his karaoke-style performances by Tehrangeles crowds, he recently faced tremendous backlash, and fell out from the same community for performing in Saudi Arabia. Born in Tehran, he is the eldest of 6 siblings. Inspired by the Beatles, he formed a beat group known as the Rebels with Shahram Sahabpar and Siavish Ghomeshi in the mid-60s. He was also a part of the Sun Boys and Black Cats bands, before embarking on a career as a solo singer. Number 2. Homayun Shahjarian. Shahjarian was born in Tehran and is the son of Mohammad Reza Shahjarian, the grandmaster vocalist of Persian traditional music. At a young age, began studying tombak, a Persian hand drum, and Persian traditional vocal avaz. He attended Tehran Conservatory of Music, choosing kamancha as his professional instrument, and was tutored by Ardeshir Kamkar. In 1991, he accompanied his father in concerts of Ava Music Ensemble in the United States, Europe and Iran, playing tombak, and from 1999 on, started accompanying his father also on vocals. His first independent work, Nasim Eva SL, composed by Mohammad Javad Zarabian, was released on his 28th birthday, on the 21st of May 2003. He performed live stream concert on the 24th of May 2020 during coronavirus pandemic. Number 1. Salar Ahili. Salar Ahili, born the 2nd of December 1977, known by his full name, Mir Salar Muslimi Ahili, is a classical and Persian traditional singer. His spouse, Hara Shariat Zadeh, is a Persian musician who plays piano and dav. His main teacher was Sedhig Tarif. He is the singer of Iran's national orchestra. He has also worked with a number of Persian classical music ensembles such as. He started his career at the age of 8 by playing the piano. Salar is regarded as one of Iran's greatest singers. His song, Faces, which was composed by, was used in the 2015 movie, What Do You Think of Our List? Which of the singer impressed you the most, and would you like to know more about them? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want more videos from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.